In this video, we will show you how to replace your rear sway bar link on this Volvo S60. This is part of the rear suspension, located inside the rear wheel well. Let's get into it. Okay friend, let's get started on our job. The first thing you need to do is safely raise and support the rear of the vehicle so you can remove the wheel. To remove the wheel, remove all 5 of your 19mm lug nuts. As you remove the last one, make sure you're holding onto that wheel so it doesn't fall and potentially hurt you. Now that we have the wheel off, we have a clear view of the rear sway bar link. Let's start down along the bottom with a 15mm to remove this nut. Now since we're replacing this, I'll be holding the stud with some locking pliers along the back side here. Now let's follow the sway bar link up towards the top. You'll find the area where it goes through the sway bar, and just above that, a rubber bushing and a 13mm nut. Hold the shaft of the sway bar link with a 13mm wrench and remove the nut with using a 13 as well. These typically break. Once that nut's off of there, you'd want to remove the rubber bushing just above your sway bar. You can use a pry bar for this if you can't do it by hand. Take hold of the sway bar link. We're going to give it a wiggle and start pulling it out of the lower control arm and bring it down and out. There it is, friend. With the sway bar link out of the vehicle, continue on with cleaning and inspecting the 2 mounting areas. The top area where the sway bar is, and then all the way down at the bracket on the lower control arm. Make sure everything's still in good condition. Ours looks fine, so we'll continue with the installation. All right, let's get ready for the installation of our brand new rear sway bar link. Take this and put it in position into the lower control arm. Slide that right in there and start on the mounting nut. We do not need to tighten this yet. We'll continue on. Swing this up and continue on with one of your rubber bushings. We'll slide that right in over the top here. Once we've done so, we'll bring it into the proper position just underneath that sway bar. After that, you want to take the top bushing and then the driver bolt and bring it right down through the center area of the sway bar link. Slide that on there. While we have this loosely in the vehicle, continue on to your grease fitting, which would go in along the backside of the lower aspect of your sway bar link. Looking at the grease fitting, you'll find that you have a threaded area. We'll start this in by hand, and then we can snug it up using a 3/8 wrench. As you bring your grease fitting around, it's important to make sure you stop in a position where you can easily grease this without removing the wheel. Move along from the grease fitting. We'll be using an 18mm wrench to hold the shaft of the lower aspect of the sway bar link. Use a 15mm to tighten that nut. Pause at the bottom and follow the sway bar link up to the top mounting bolt. We'll be using a 15mm to hold the sway bar link shaft and a 16mm to tighten the top mounting bolt. Now we can torque each of our mounting points. We'll start down along the bottom. The torque for each of these is 44 foot-pounds. To tighten this top mounting point, we'll be making sure we're holding the shaft of the sway bar link. Now let's grease that sway bar link. There we are. Now we can start on our wheel. Start on all 5 of your lug nuts, snug them up, get the wheel back on the ground, and we can torque these to 103 foot-pounds. Once you have your wheel safely on the ground, torque each one of your lug nuts in a crisscross manner to 103 foot-pounds. Torqued. Okay, friend, we showed you how to do one side of your rear sway bar link. The process is the exact same thing for the other side of the vehicle. Aside from that, go ahead and take your vehicle for a road test and listen for any funny noises. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.